Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow. You know what Elliot means?
I don't actually. Never looked it up.
The root meaning from Hebrew, Eliyahu, my God or Yahweh or Jehovah is God. So spiritual layer is a name that calls one to live in remembrance of and under the guidance of a higher power. It reminds you of your strength and purpose is rooted in something greater than yourself. Kawaiho olana, the water which one floats carefree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Surrender, healing, and renewal. The channeling of mana from what's intangible to tangible.
Mm-hmm.
And Mills, which is an English occupational surname for someone who worked or owned a mill, with the spiritual layer meaning turning something that's raw grain into nourishment. So when you look at this, it says, together the name calls Elliot to walk a path of divine guidance, carefree surrender, and transformative service. Under the banner of my God is Yahweh, he's invited to trust in that guidance that he floats in the healing waters of Kawaiho olana, and then mill those insights into relatable stories and compassionate acts that nourish his ohana and community. In essence, Elliot Kawaiho olana Mills is a living reminder to live faithfully, float freely, and transform boldly, bearing witness to both ancestral mana and everyday grace.
That's a very kind description. I have to say, I do have a very spiritual tie that tries to live up to those, that description and that type of life. But it's a task every day, right? You got to keep working at it. But yeah, there's definitely a spiritual side to me that definitely wants me to deliver on those descriptors.
Might be a Kohoia.
Kohoia, true, right?
Because that's where it was going next, right? Which is, if you think about it, then it goes, you're taking in, and I guess we're going out there today, but you're taking in kind of the grace of God flowing through calm waters. So whatever is in that space can be carefree, and then transmuting that into a physical factor or form that nourishes.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping that in mind for today's light conversation, how does that express?
I think a lot of what I do, I would say inside and out of work, does revolve around trying to deliver value to those who are less fortunate, specifically around, a lot of my nonprofit work, my passion for it is around kids. And that kind of stems from my mom's teaching for 47 years in the DOE and somewhat difficult in the districts throughout Hawaii. And just seeing the deficit and how the kids work through their lives in time, and just seeing that over many, many years definitely left an impression on me with regard to what service I want to be providing in my nonprofit and my free time. So a lot of it has been driven around kids' education, kids' health. Obviously, I've tried to focus within the native Hawaiian space because I think, our kids, especially in different districts, definitely disadvantaged. And so a lot of the time and effort I put into my nonprofit work is focused around that. My focus and my drive primarily is around trying to change the life cycle of those kids. And it's been extraordinarily rewarding. At the same time, it's been extraordinarily frustrating to just see how slowly we move to change that dynamic for our kids in Hawaii, especially around education. But rewarding at the same time because, every little bit you do and the rest of the organizations do make an impact. So, it's a double-edged sword, but it's been great service, though.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.